Need to get your gear organized? We're going to be taking a look at a new Maxpedition pouch called the Beefy and why I think it's a great organizer. Stick around. For years, I've used Maxpedition products, and I think I started using them when they first started. They've been around for quite a while, and I've had a lot of their stuff, and I still use a lot of their stuff. And in fact, one of my favorite products is their organizer pouches. This is the Fatty. This is my dedicated Possibles pouch. Has all my kind of survival items in it that I throw in a backpack. But it really does a great job of organizing the gear that I have. And helping me find it and keeping all those small loose things that get lost in a backpack in a convenient grab and go pouch. And Maxpedition came out with a new one called the Beefy, and this thing is beefy. It is a big pouch. Now, what I've done with mine is I've set mine up as a dedicated first aid trauma pouch, and I think it's a great option. So I'm going to show you what exactly is in mine. So here are the two pouches next to each other. We've got the Fatty and the new Beefy, and as you can tell, there's a big difference in size. Taller, it is thicker and wider, so a lot more volume. But I've gone over this pouch in past videos and shown how I have it set up as a Possibles pouch, but what I want to show you today is the new Beefy and how it is a perfect size for a first aid kit, trauma kit, IFAK. I think it fills that role pretty well, and I was really surprised at how easily I was able to get my gear in it and keep things organized. So on the outside of the Maxpedition pouch, of course, we have a Velcro field, and that allows me to add my first aid cross patch so people know exactly what this is. There is a very heavy-duty mesh pocket on the outside. And what I like about this mesh is it is not going to snag or tear like the cheaper mesh that you see in a lot of cheap pouches. This thing is heavy-duty, but it does have a Velcro closure, so it keeps the contents secure. And in here, I've got my gloves, nitrile gloves to protect my hands and protect anybody that I'm actually working on in a first aid situation. And then we have nice beefy YKK zippers with paracord zipper pulls. On the back, there is a Molly Rose panel, so you can attach this to a larger backpack. What I've done with mine is it's also a perfect spot to put my shears, and they actually stay in there pretty well. And then what I've done is I've taken this Molly cat tourniquet pouch that I had, and I just attached that to the Molly panel back here, and then that way I have my tourniquet on the outside of my pouch. It's easily identifiable, and I can get to it quickly, and I don't have to dig around inside of a bigger pouch to get to it. So this panel, even though it was designed for attaching to larger packs, it is perfect for adding other pouches and utensils and instruments to the back of it, and you can utilize it that way. So you don't always have to use things the way they are intended. Sometimes you can do some different stuff with it to make it more versatile. Going on the inside, we unzip this, and what's great about these pouches is how they open up, because they open up fully, and they're very accessible, and they're very easy to get into. And what's fantastic about these style of pouches is there's so much organization built into them, lots of elastic keepers, and the elastic is not a cheap elastic that will lose its holding ability after time. These things are very well made, top quality materials, and the elastic really allows you to organize all that small stuff that sometimes gets lost in first aid pouches. So we have 1, 2, 3 larger elastic keepers back here, and then sewn on top of that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller ones. And with first aid kits, there are a lot of skinny, small items. So here I've got a safety razor. I've got the decompression needle. I have an exam light. I have a marker for marking skin. And then I have a syringe for irrigation of wounds. Back here I have an airway tube. And then I also have here a suture with a circular needle on it. And then you have this nice keeper, so if you want to add something to that, you can. But then also they've included this paracord loop sewn in this corner. And here I've got a couple different rolls of medical tape tied to that so I can get to it. And in the back, we have a very deep, large pocket, and that is a perfect place to put chest seals. I have a couple of those. In the center of the pouch, there is a nice large piece of elastic, and this will fit a lot of long items that are a little bit thicker. Right now, I've got some roller gauze. I might put another one down here. That'll give me 2 of those. And then on this side, the orientation of the elastic switches. It now is running up and down. And then I've got 2 compressed gauze packages there. I've got alcohol swabs on the top smaller ones, and then I of course have some quick clop. Now this is 2 large pieces of elastic on the back, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller ones on top. So more options, different sized items can go in here. And then behind all that, there is a zipper pocket. You see that? And in here I have gauze pads. And then it closes up like that. I would suggest, and this is something I'm going to do to my kit here in the future, is I would add just a little bit of cordage to this zipper in a bright color so you can see that inside the pouch, because it does get lost because it's black on black, because the interior of this pouch is black. And then you have the black zipper, so a piece of red paracord or something like that will help it stand out, and then you can get to things a little bit easier. So this kit does not cover every aspect of first aid or trauma, but I think it addresses some issues that I would probably run into in my vehicle, or if I'm possibly at a gun range or hunting or something like that. It should have enough stuff in it that it should be able to help me out in a bad situation. Now the Beefy comes in a variety of colors. This is the wolf gray. And then as you saw with the other pouch I had, it also comes in an OD green, comes in a black, and then there's also khaki, and then a foliage gray color that kind of goes with the old ACU digital camo that the Army used to use, but it's a very nice gray color that's great for kind of urban environments. But I really like the wolf gray. It looks fabulous. It's a very cool color. Nice neutral. Doesn't really stand out, but it looks sharp. And then on the outside of my pouch, I have carabinered to the zipper. I have a CPR mask. So that's the last piece of equipment in here. Now, Maxpedition makes these pouches in 1050 denier nylon. Like I said, genuine YKK zippers and Duraflex hardware. So all top-notch components are used to make these. Heavy-duty carry handle at the top. Probably noticed that. Of course, we got the MOLLE webbing on the back. Dimensions for the pouch are 8 inches high, 6 inches wide, and 2.5 inches thick. Volume is about 1.9 liters, and that comes out to 116 cubic inches. Of course, you can get these through Amazon. I will have my affiliate link down below if you want to go there to get it. Also, you can go to Maxpedition.com to look at more of the organizers. In fact, they make a lot of them. They make a mini, a micro, a fatty, a skinny, a chubby, a double-decker, and now the beefy. So there is a variety of sizes of organizers that you can get. And what's kind of cool about these, if you get some different ones, get them in different colors, and that way they kind of stand out as their own thing. That helps you organize your gear within your backpack or your travel bag. You have different colors meaning different things to you, and that'll help you find your stuff a little bit easier. So if you're into bushcraft, survival, prepping, emergency preparedness, you know that Maxpedition makes some fantastic gear, and I've been using their stuff since the very beginning. I think they started in like 2003. Everything that I've ever had from Maxpedition just holds up. Some stuff you will have for years, and it doesn't even show any signs of wear. I mean, their stuff is just so incredibly tough and well-made and well-designed. As you can see with this pouch, it's a fantastic organizing pouch. And I'm really glad I picked up the Beefy. It's going to be living here in my vehicle so that when I'm on job sites or I'm out hunting or hiking, I have a dedicated first aid kit that is always available in my truck, and I can grab and go pretty easily. So if you're interested in learning more about Maxpedition, go to Maxpedition.com. Like I said, go to the Amazon affiliate link down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.